Boys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be taking a look at Team of the Season, Raul Jimenez. Now, much like Thuram, Raul Jimenez was the objective player, so you can get him just by doing objectives, don't have to pay for him. I'm sure you all understand what that means if you're watching this video. And yeah, just real quick before I get into Raul Jimenez, I also got Jose Perez by just doing Jimenez. Didn't mean to get Jose Perez, just got him by accident doing Jimenez. So please let me know down below if you'd like to see one of these on Jose Perez as well. More than happy to do that if people want to see it. Now, on to Jimenez himself. When you open up this guy's stats, what you see greeting you is 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Now, we all know, especially this late on in the game, you want your striker to have at least 4-star. So he has got the weak foot, but not the skill moves. Then you go over to his attributes and you see 59 balance. Now, that for a lot of people is a major no-go. That is just a turn off instantly, not having it. For me, we did Thuram, who I ended up liking. I thought he was okay. And he had like 64 balance. And I also used Prime Socrates, as you all know. Love Socrates. And his balance is only like 60. So for me, necessarily, it's not an instant turn off. As for the other stats, he's got some good stats. 95 sprint speed. He's got 99 penalties. 94 composure, which is nice. So you wouldn't expect him to be missing anything. Some decent passing stats for a striker. 87 agility. So even though his balance is low, his agility is high. 94 stamina. 99 heading. So he's got some good stats. But let's just go on and get into the highlights. And we can really take a look at if this card is worth using or not. Oh, and he's also got power header and flare traits. Anyway, so Raul Jimenez. First off, we're going to start off with the things I liked about this card. First off, his shooting, which you would expect. 94 finishing, 94 shot power, 94 composure, and that's before the engine chemistry style, so they probably get a little boost as well. Really good shooting. Much like Thuram, it was the same sort of deal. If he was inside the box, you didn't expect him to miss anything. He didn't really miss too many that you would expect. At least didn't completely miss like the target. He did miss some that you would expect him to score, or at least hit the target on. But for the most part, no problem as it came to shooting. The same goes for heading. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Jimenez is 6'2". So that is very useful on corners. I've really been struggling with corners recently. I'm not sure why. It's like EA patched them secretly without mentioning it. But using this Jimenez, he was really useful in the air. Even on crosses, which for me, crosses are completely useless for the most part this year. But he really did help out with that 99 heading. It was fun to use. Also, another thing I like about the card is that he's strong. He can play a bit of bully ball. He can hold the ball up well, which again, for me personally, is something I like to do. Usually with Socrates, not with my striker. Usually I like to hold the ball up with Socrates and let like Aguero run off and play the ball through to him. But that is something he's capable of. So if you deploy him as striker and then the faster player at cam, you could probably do the same thing just in reverse. But unfortunately, that is about it in terms of positive things that I can say about Jimenez. Oh, and he's 4-star weak foot. One last thing I forgot. Need to mention it. 4-star weak foot. That just, as you would expect, 4-star weak foot is good enough. He had a few chances on his left foot. No problems there whatsoever. Again, the same as Thuram. Just usable. Very, very usable. Now, the cons. First off, I think you can probably tell by the highlights, is dribbling. The guy moves like a truck. And that one he should have scored. I can't believe he missed that. That's why I put it in. But yeah, he just, even worse than Thuram. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because Thuram's 6'4" and you expect less from him. But Thuram definitely felt better than Jimenez does. And yeah, it's such a shame as well. I wanted him to work out, because there's a Wolves fan in the comments and he was looking forward to this, and I know he wants to use him, and obviously you still can, but it's like to the point of unusable with Jimenez, unfortunately. Yeah, And then to go on top of that he feels like a truck when you're dribbling with him. He's also got only 3-star skill moves, which again renders you pretty useless on FIFA these days. He just doesn't offer anything. I kept passing the ball to him, and like I said, it was hold-up play, which it was, but a lot of the time, instead of hold-up play, what you really was doing was just slowing the game down. I was breaking on the counter, and it was getting to Jimenez, and the attack just stopped dead. Another thing that I didn't like about him is that he was slow to accelerate. Like, once he got going, he was actually quite quick, but it took him a while to get there. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I think it does. So, like, Aymeric Laporte was keeping up with him, and things like that, you just can't. With the defenders that are going to be about now, the team of the season's here, you can't have people like Aymeric Laporte keeping up with your main striker. And then just the links. I said for Thuram, his links were a positive, and I thought they were. French Bundesliga, they are good links. Jimenez, his links obviously are Mexican and Premier League. So chances are, if you can use a Mexican Premier League striker, that means you could just use any Premier League striker, unless you're using him specifically for a Mexican team. But even then, you still probably got better options than Hernandez if you can afford them. So, yeah, and lastly, basically the same thing is that there's better players for cheaper. If you've got, let's say you're using a Prem team now and you've got Heung-min Son up top, it's not even a contest. He is just miles better. And here's the stats for the final game. I only played 4 because usually I play 5, but one of the games I scored a bunch of goals, and you've already seen all the goals. And here we are back into the team. So final thoughts really is that this guy is just not worth doing. It's a shame. He scored 8 goals in 4, but one of the games, I think he scored 4 in one of the games. So he's just not very usable, guys, to be honest. The weak foot's good. High weight weights, which is nice. But ultimately, more than anything, his dribbling just lets him down. He's got no skill moves to compensate for that dribbling. If you're going to go and do Jimenez, the reason you're doing him really is so that you've got a good card to trade in for those SBCs where you can get, a better team of the season card. And yeah, I'm actually really sorry it had to be that way, but, I'm used to using Aguero, so that's probably not the best striker on the game. Most people wouldn't use Aguero if they had the money I've got. And even still, Aguero is miles better than Jimenez. So my advice to you boys is, unless you're a Wolves fan, like my guy in the comments, just don't bother with it. Or unless you want to trade him in, chances are that if you're already using a Premier League striker, whoever you've got is better. And if not, you can still buy someone better that's cheaper. Whew, a lot of talking. Anyway, boys, that is going to do it from me. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video or you found it helpful, please go down, drop a like, hit subscribe. We've been growing just like crazy ever since I started this channel, and I'm so grateful and so thankful. Let's keep that ball rolling. Let's keep it moving. And what is it? It's Saturday. This is going up on Sunday, so I will see you again tomorrow for you, which will be Monday for me, for Top 100 Squad Battle Rewards. Thank you so much for watching, boys. Cheers.